Yeah, everyone, we are back. Hope everyone's doing well. Yes, I forgot to mute my mic so you could hear my beautiful typing on the keyboard. It was fun. It was good. Good to go. So I hope the audio levels are good. Hope everything is good with y'all. Yes, we are continuing back building some applications with .NET MAUI in C#. No example here today, at least. We're going to see how that goes. Hey, how's it going? Tanaka from Zimbabwe. Very cool. Also good to see you. Andrea, Aiden, good to see you. Chung, nice to see you as well. Lei, nice to see you as well in the house. I decided, I should have put up the stream a few days ago, but then I forgot because I was in Seattle for VS Live and, well, in Redmond, I guess, on campus. And that went super good in general. It was super fun. We had a workshop, our Maui workshop, which you can find here on YouTube in more depth, but kind of been updated now a little bit. And then additionally, had a session, did some recordings. I met with the, let's see if I can find it here. Oops. I met with the Wilderness Labs folks, which is pretty cool. They do a bunch of .NET IoT devices, and we did a bunch of recordings. And at the very end, Brian, good friend Brian, gave me one of these puppies. I tweeted it out. This is the Wilderness Labs Project Lab board, which is very cool. It has their Meadow IoT platform in it, accelerometers, gyroscopes, whole bunch of stuff, and you can just plug it in. It's got Wi-Fi, got Bluetooth, and you can kind of plug in modules into it, which is super cool. Hey, Nero, good to see you. Good morning. Yes, it is very morning over here, that's for sure. I don't know if I have this thing like capturing like a weird part of the screen. There we go, that's probably better. So this thing's gonna boot up. It's got this beautiful LCD. It's all like encapsulated. I guess you could open it up, but the whole idea is it's all in one encompassing, so you don't need to worry about breadboards or anything. It's all like plug and play modules, basically. There we go, the LCD is getting up there. And then it'll display all of the stuff that it has. So it's got all the arrows here. It's got temperature, pressure, humidity, the brightness levels, accelerometer, gyroscope on it, which is very, very cool. So all sorts of good stuff. I'm excited to play around with it, get some stuff that I can come with an idea. I have some smart thermostat ideas. I have some humidity sensor ideas, but everything in C# and .NET, which I'm very excited to play around with there, which is cool. Nero says, I've been working on a Maui app for the last 7 months. Very cool. Home stretch. Should be done another week. Awesome. Definitely reach out. Let me know when it's all done up in the store. Things like that. Nuno, good to see ya. Fo, good to see you as well. Aiden, looks pretty accessible for us with zero IoT experience. Yes. I'm going to do a stream with it. And specifically, I have this other camera that I am doing a video for. But it's called the... Let me grab it here. How do I turn that thing off? There we go. It's called the, what is it called? The BenQ Idea Cam. And what's cool about it is that it has this big thing that goes on the back of your monitor, so it really holds it. But it kind of just goes in like this. But the cool part is that you can rotate this down, right? So if you're doing IoT stuff like that, you could really do that. And then it also comes with this like zoomy thing. And you can like focus and zoom in on it. And then additionally, it comes with like this magnifier thing that you can just attach on like this. And then you put it up to whatever you're doing. So if you really want to like zoom in on something, you can like magnify it basically, which is kind of cool. So I've been playing around that for a few weeks now and just seeing how it goes, which is cool. It's neat, yeah. In general. And I also like that it has like kind of magnet type of thing, so it kind of it's kind of hard to see, but it kind of sucks in on it, which is nice. So, and it's USB-C. I like, or no, just normal USB. There we go. But playing around with that, got a video coming out with that. If I finish it today, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll go from there. Chris says, good morning. Good morning, Nuno. John, any plans to make an MSIX installer video? I don't know. I mean, I would just go through the documentation, but also Gerald has one. So check out Gerald's channel. I think he already has one, so I don't want to just like duplicate stuff that Gerald does unless it's dramatically different. So Programmer Talks is asking about .NET MAUI versus xamarin.forms transition-wise. We actually did a transition over there. I've done transition a few of my apps and talked to a lot of developers in general and have had good success. It depends. I mean, you know, really .NET MAUI is the evolution of xamarin.forms and how they built things from the ground up, focusing on mobile and desktop. There, you know, if you run into issues, definitely let the team know exactly what you're doing there. And go from there. But yeah, a lot of people have been having pretty good success. I'd love to know like the issues you're running into. Feel free to reach out on Twitter. You can DM me. DMs are open if you're running specific things. And yeah, definitely let the team know in general what's going on. But yeah, the new upgrade assistant in Visual Studio, we checked that out last week and that went pretty well, which is cool. So definitely check out that video as well. I think there's all sorts of different backends and different front ends that folks are using, so I'd highly doubt that that your statement is true. Maybe a little closer where you're at in general. However, you know, if you take a look at the .NET Comp session from Build, which I'll maybe put a link to later as well, David Amani has some great stats and great companies using it. And I was just in Redmond talking to a bunch of companies that have had were Xamarin, moved to .NET MAUI, or brand new in .NET MAUI, so it's good. Nunes has been done production app, so for a few months. Has some issues with collection view, don't we all? Yes, I'm excited for .NET 8. I think they're really going to be doing a lot of stuff there, that's for sure, yeah. So, we'll see. Azaka Lafai, good to see you as well. Michelle, 2 minted MAUI devs here. Thank you so much, that's awesome. Laren, good to see you as well. Thanks for joining in on the stream. Hey, from Winnipeg, Michelle as well. Good to see you. Very cool. Well, last week we decided to check out the new extension for VS Code. It's kind of in early stages, and in doing so, you know, there was some things that, you know, as a XAML developer that I, you know, wanted, but weren't there yet. So we decided to build our app in C# UI. And let's take a look at what we got today over here. Boom, boom. So this is the Threads app that I had built, just the home screen here, which is, and the tabs and things like that. So we're going for approximate, let's say, you know what I mean? So approximate as much as we could inside of here. So we have, and I'm looking at what we have, and, you know, we didn't support images or other things like that, but we definitely could, you know, inside of it if we wanted to, or what the threaded type of conversation look like. But we're just like, hey, what does some things look like, and can I tap on some things and do some things in here? And this thing was built all in C#, just this home page here, using the C# markup extensions. Hello from Serbia. Whoa, heyo. Sup, good to see you as well. So here we have this grid, and we're defining some rows and some columns, and then we have some children inside of here. So we're binding this up in the C# markup, which is cool. I think I already put a link to that in the show notes below as well. So this is on GitHub, which is cool. So we have all these things in here, which is looking pretty good, I would say. Gerald's YouTube. Yes, Gerald's YouTube. Let me go over to youtube.com. Gerald versus. There you go, Gerald. Boop, there's Gerald. Gerald has all sorts of stuff. Give Gerald
this video, I'm going to try and explain to
Gerald. That's Gerald. Gerald works on the .NET MAUI team, so give his look there. There you go. Yeah. Just cool. So I was talking to Frank about this actually, and he was like, you know, looking at this, and we did a podcast on it, and he's like, well, it's actually quite interesting because let's say you took this label, like we have this label on here, we have these things here, and these are these different icons, which is kind of cool. And he said, you know, you just make a, you know, a font awesome label, right? And then kind of plop that in there. So I kind of had done that, right? I have this horizontal stack layout spaced, and I kind of did that where I had this little spacing here, which I thought was cool, and it really got me started to thinking of controls, right? So actually coming in and saying, let's add custom controls into here. I'm debugging, so let me stop debugging. And what would that look like if I just started to reuse, you know, control? So for example, like if I just did a add, you know, new class, and this was the, you know, horizontal stack layout spaced, just like that. There we go. And then just like jam this in here. All right, that's kind of cool. What did I do? Yes. Okay, there we go. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. Get rid of that. Cool. Yeah, and then this way you're kind of more of a fluent UI. So kind of like Swift UI or Flutter or Compose, right? Jetpack Compose type of things, which are in there too. So if you did something like that, right? And you say, okay, let me go ahead and quickly put this here, so like this. And then you're like, hey, what about this, right? We have these labels in here and we're specifying these different properties every time. So you could, for example, say, let's create another control, add another control in here. And then I would say font awesome, label, just like that. And then I would probably do something like, maybe just side by side this puppy here. There we go. And then I would do like, I'd have to kind of consider like, what do I want to do, right? Maybe I would do so this would be a label, all right? And these are just custom controls, but not really customizing anything. It's just sort of making it easier. So, but if I said public, I think what I would end up doing is I would do like const fast equals const string fast equals fast, all right? And then const string far equals far. So these are font awesome regular fonts and font awesome solid fonts. And then what I would do is I would probably do like a public enum, and I would say font awesome style, right? And then this would be like regular. I think I would do brand, regular, and solid, just like that. And then you could just do something like public font awesome label, and then I would do font awesome style, and then I would say style, and maybe I'd even put these down here side by side. Let's do that. There we go. That's probably easier to read. And then I would also do like, you know, string, and I would say icon, right? Like something like that. Do you also have a Twitch? I do have a Twitch. It's my name. I don't Twitch stream on there anymore, really. But, you know, you can check it out if you want to. I do games sometimes and some ad hoc things, but not too much different. But so now, check this out. So now I could say, for example, font attribute, or font, what is it? Font family. And then I would say style, and then you can do like, and then I would say style. How do I do that? How do I do that? What's that thing? Switch pattern matching C#. Like I like how I already forget. There we go. So, oh, there we go. Yeah, switch style equals. Oh yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, perfect. So then I do font awesome style brand, and then I would do fab, and then I would do regular, and then I would do far, and then I would do font awesome solid fast, just like that. What's it saying? Add default case. I guess you could throw a new exception. Sure, there we go. Cool. And then you could do like, yeah, text. equals icon. That's cool. And then if you really wanted to, you could also do like some binding or whatever too, but I think that's probably good. So now this is cool because I could just come in here and then I could say font awesome label. And then here I can say font awesome style solid. And then I could say ellipses, just like this. Bam. Then you could just basically get rid of these. So kind of like really trimming it down, right? Which is kind of nice in general. So if I go ahead and like replace some of these, like look, it's like just more code, right? So that one's a solid and that's a circle check. Boom. Let's get rid of this. Again, I don't think I'm trying to replace everything that I'm doing, but it's like, oh, can I get rid of some of the stuff? You know what I mean? This one would be a far, so this would be a regular, just like that. This would be heart. And then it's like less error prone too at this point, which I like. This one's regular. This is a comment. Cool. Again, just really trimming it down. So it's like, okay, I'm just stacking these things. So it just looks really nice. And this is a solid, so this is a retweet. I like that that's in there. And then here, it would do the same thing. So paper plane. Bam. Just like that. So that really like trims that up in general. And if I really wanted to go farther, I guess I could pass in like a size too. Like if I really wanted to, like I could do font size. I could do, I guess this is an int, right? Double. And I could say font size in general. And then I could make that default to 0. But if I wanted to, I don't know. I feel like probably I want those to be just that. Like these are the things that would go into a font awesome thing, a font awesome label, because I'm setting these properties and then I'm doing that. So I think that would be pretty cool there. Yeah. Danny, so I do Blazor stuff too? Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff here. Yeah. Switch expression, that's what it is. Yes. What did I call it? I called it switch pattern matching C#, which is pretty accurate, which is cool. Yeah. Yeah, my favorite part is the switch pattern matching, actually. Like it's really, really nice because normally you would do a bunch of code to, you know, do different cases and things, but this doesn't even have to be, you know, this. I could actually put in like, you know, 5 or 4, for example. I guess that doesn't work. I guess if I cast that, no, it does work, does it? Oh, if it was an object, for example, I did that, and this was like an object. I could do that, for example, right? Like maybe I don't know what it is, and there's just an object coming in, which is nice. Now this would be ints, but I could also then do like, oh, is this a string? And if it is this string, I could say hello, right? So you kind of do that, which is nice too. So it doesn't have to just be of a specific type, but that is nice because normally it's like, oh, that has to be some sort of constant that comes in, but that is nice. Yeah. But there we go. Okay. Anyway, I definitely like that. That's pretty cool. I also think that was kind of in my mind. I was like, okay, how do I make this just a little bit nicer? You know what I mean? Just a little bit there. Because like this is cool that I'm binding these properties. I'm centering vertically, but like, yeah, this font, now I can use this anywhere in a bunch of my apps, right? And if I wanted to take it further, I could technically like make this whatever the row is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Didn't catch the first episode. It's going to be a C# app. I'm using, yes, the .NET MAUI Community Toolkit, specifically the markup extension over here, which gives us those nice extension points into here. So this font size type of thing. So it's you're able to set these properties, right? So here, you know, I'm just setting the properties, but I'm doing this in the constructor comparatively. Oh, and then I actually messed this up too. That's funny. So I should actually do like fab var And now this is going to be nice because it's just constant string over there. Static constant? No, I don't think that's what you want. Something like that. I don't know what to make that the most performant thing, but maybe that's it, you know. So brand, regular, fast. And that's nice because then people don't have to know, because Frank was asking me like, oh, what is fab and far and fast? You know what I mean? So that's what he said. There. Okay. So we got our controls. That's looking good. Now, one thing that I wanted to do is, like, you know, when I run the application over here, hopefully this will look exactly the same. Let's see what it does. Ideally, we end up seeing the application like running and doing stuff. But one problem that I definitely had was, you know, the hot reload support that we tried to figure out if I could do .NET Run, for example, and I was running into problems there in my code. And I found this article from David from last year, October of last year, which was all about using C# UI and .NET Hot Reload together to build out .NET MAUI app. So he had some tips and tricks, and I wanted to try that out and see. Now, I have been running into issues with the latest preview. I'm wondering if I'm running into that again. I was running into this issue where it wouldn't rebuild and redeploy. I was running this into our workshops the other day. I was going to update to preview 4, but I'm on preview 3, so I don't know if that's a me thing. Because we were using VS Code last week, so that didn't seem to have the problem. So I think it's a preview thing. So what I might end up doing is, let me see. See, it should be like doing stuff, but it's not. Seems like it gets stuck. I ran into this problem, but I have the stable VS, so I think I'm going to move to that. So let me go ahead and move to that really quick here. And again, I think probably this is fixed already. Oh, not Edge. There we go. Let's try that. I'm going to try to boot up this normal one. There we go. Oh, if talking about I see there's some conversation in the chat right now. People are probably reading later. If you're watching this later, there's some chat about the upgrade assistant. What I like to do is inside of VS, what I showed was that you can do side by side. So what I recommend doing is doing the upgrade assistant and then doing it side by side, and then creating a new .NET MAUI app, and then sort of pulling things over, taking them and looking at them. You know, when you go through and you are specifically upgrading an application in general, you also not only want to update your code, but probably you want to use some of the new stuff like the community toolkit stuff too, right? So you want to probably take a look at that at the same time. And some of the other things in your code that maybe just were lingering around for a long time that you might want to upgrade. That's for sure. Because I've gone through a few migrations, and of course it can't necessarily handle everything, but there's that. So like all the dependent projects or libraries that you might have in your app, for example, you know, you definitely want to take a look at those and see if those are supported out of the box. Yeah, and things that are 5+ years ago are sometimes hard to move because you've come much further. I'm sorry if I'm dropping frames as I open this puppy up. I need a new computer. One day I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, and also that's fine too. I think the nice thing about the assistant is it'll upgrade all the namespaces and using statements and things like that. But every app is different. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to figure that out. Okay, so I want to try to figure this out. So let's do this. I want to put this side by side so I can read what David said, which is kind of like a hack for getting this working, but we're totally going to do it, which I'm pretty excited about. And what I'm thinking of doing here is he writes this up about pretty much you create this method, which is about when the page is navigated to, you build the UI. So instead of, for example, here in the home page, coming in and building the UI up in the constructor, you delay load it until later on, right? So he has this nice little void that he had created. I'm just going to copy this, I think. Boop, into here. No, that didn't do it. Oh gosh. Copy. There we go. And then I think the idea here is you just build this up and go from here. And I would probably do something like, yeah, if content, is null, but the idea here is this. And I think what I want to do is create maybe like a base class. If I do add new class, and I'm going to call this base page. Base page. And then what I want to do is probably implement it here, right? I probably want to do like a public class, and this will be a content page, just like that. And then I think I want to do like an abstract void build method, right? Does that work? Public, just like that. Is abstract, but it is contained in a non-abstract public virtual. Abstract. Can I do that? Can I do that? Yeah, I could. Okay, cool. So we build. All right, yeah. Can I do this? Can I do this then? Or like this? Yeah. So the base class is here. We have this base page, this here, blah, 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 blah. Cool, cool, cool. So then, instead of putting this code here, right, we would do base page. Cool. And then we would implement set interface. Boom. And then here, this is where we would do this. Boom. And let me do this. I'm going to do add new class. I just want to clean up some of this code because we were really hacking on code. We'll call this threads generator. Perfect. And then I'm going to call this a public static class. And then here I'm going to do IEnumerable public static IEnumerable. And then this will be create threads. And this will be of type. We're really definitely going to now do models. Let's really build a real application, people. Models. Add a new class. I'm definitely gonna call this a thread. I like that. There you go. Threads generator. Man, I wish that it would just give me the stuff that we want. There we go. Cool. And then I'm gonna clean this up. We really just jammed everything into this main page, which I like. There we go. Perfect. All right. Public partial class. Let's bring that in. Amazing. Do you see that? I just like copied this in there. And like Visual Studio just like added. Did you see that? I didn't click on anything. Let's go back one more time. So I have this here. I copy this in, and Visual Studio's all like, hey, you need this namespace. Oh my gosh, that's great. I think I want to learn more. So a lot of conversation about XAML versus C#. I want to learn more about it because, in general, it should be protected. You think it's like a protected class, the base? Oh yeah, protected override. Yeah, that's great. I don't know. I make everything public. I don't even care. Then we just need to do now this. Boop. Threads. Generator. Create threads. There we go. Cool. That just is an IEnumerable. Perfect. And then now we just put the return new. There we go. Is it gonna do it? Oh, I thought it was gonna do it. Collections. Threads model. Oh, maybe the code wasn't complete. There we go. All right, now we got threads generator. Now our home class is looking real nice. Okay, cool. And then we just need to do this. Cool. And then remove this. Awesome. Awesome. Nice. Neromax says that's base page is something I'm going to implement right away. Ezeklify says, why are you using a list view instead of and not a collection view? That's a great question. No reason. You could use either or. It's fine. It doesn't seem like the Threads app has any need for a collection view. So like if you're not going to do like rows and columns and stuff like that, it's probably fine. But I probably should use a collection view, but we're just going there. It's better, but I feel like there's still some quirks across the platforms with it that I've been running into. So that's been my thing in general. But the cool part is like I could just change this to like collection view, right? I could be like, now this is a collection view, right? And then remove this. And then I would just remove some of these properties. Like that's actually kind of the cool part is like if I wanted to, I just do this, right? And just say, well, look at that. Now it's a collection view. I'd have to change this from being a view cell to being something else, but that's the only difference, which is kind of cool in a way. I'll try to do it. But that's not bad. That's looking pretty good. Now I would even move this thread cell into a whole nother class too. Like I would do add new folder and I'd call this like cells. And then I would have a, thread cell, or maybe I'd have like a thread grid, or maybe that like, here's like a, let me delete this, right? Maybe that's in controls. Yeah. And I would have like a new class and I'd call this a thread view, right? Check that out. Ready? It's gonna blow your mind. Like let's really do this. I think it's just gonna be a class, right? So then look, we're in refactor mode. We just created this app, but we're really refactoring it nonstop. Yeah, all this needs to be here. Boop. This is a view. This would be like view, and then I just do. Grid. And I could do like public thread view like that. And then I think I have to new up a grid because it is a grid. There we go. Like a refactoring like a crazy person. Yep. And then here we just actually look at this. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking. I've been watching The Bear on Hulu, and it's a pretty good show, which is pretty rad. And now I feel like I'm a chef back in the kitchen. Bam. Children equals. Did I do it right? Need to drop some of these down. No, I didn't do this right. Why is this not right? I need to read only. Oh, I think here I have to do like. This is the thing where I can't. Let me double check. Line 31, semicolon. Line 31? Oh, yes. Thank you. No, no, not there. I think the idea should be that this comes here. Oh yeah, this one's like, no, I can't. Didn't we just run into this like the other day? Get. Oh, is that what you have to do? No, because I think it's only a getter. Yeah, see the children property, even though this is a grid. Maybe I've over refactored. Have I over refactored? Or I feel like I've messed something up somewhere. Oh wait. No. Uh-huh. New parent control? Let me look here. .NET MAUI grid. I think you have to add all the children, but I don't want to add all the children manually. You know what I mean? You should just be able to set the children like that. In general. Tell it to use add into ChatGPT, probably. Yeah, I guess I could. It does say to use add, but I don't want to. I don't wanna. You should just be able to set the children property. It's weird because I did it here, right? Like you saw that, right? Where it was like, here it is. Maybe it has something to do. Oh, you know why? Because we're not in a constructor anymore. We're inside of a setting of properties. Like I can no longer do that, which is kind of a bummer. Just kind of a, because you're not inside of the setter, right? So you actually do have to do that, which is kind of a bummer. Ugh. Which is not great, but like, I guess that's okay. And then you would do like, yeah, grid.add. Oh, sorry, children. Do you have like add range? No. Not in love with, I'm not in love with that in general, but you know, I think it's probably okay. And then you would do this for all of them. It's really not that many technically, but boop. And this here. It's a lot nicer when it's just like in there, but well now it's missing the semicolon. That's for sure. Now it is. There we go. There we go. It's mostly good. Okay. That's technically what that looks like, a threads view. And then, if we really button it up, then we could just say, delete that. And then delete all of this. New thread view. that. Boop. Now that's pretty good. And in fact, you could take it a step further, and then you could be like, here's my, thread cell, and then you just get rid of this class, and you say, okay, done. So now we have, this is just the code, and that looks good. Okay, cool. All right, back to hot reloading, people. Back to the hot reloads. There we go. Oops. I must have moved my mouse down. What is that doing? Here. Oops. Nice. All right, let's take a coffee break really quick, and let's take a little insert ad break. Boop. I don't actually know if an ad's playing or not. I did insert an ad, so we'll see if that's actually playing or not. I don't know if that works. All right. So let's go ahead and go back to that code that we were told about. Okay, so we have our base page. Okay. Now, David said I also need this code, which is I added a hot reload service into his app. All right, let's do that. I'm going to put that in helpers because I feel like that is probably where it belongs. Hot reload service. Boop. And he said we need to get rid of this stuff. Oh, he has a whole if debug. Yeah, if debug, which is probably good because you don't want it on, and if. And he's saying to copy this, copy into here. Car, and then he also needs this thing here, this assembly export on the namespace. Car. This is going to be threads app.helpers. This should be a helper library, I think, basically. Update application event. Okay, cool. And then in my base page, we just have these events. This is easy enough, actually. Boop. Boop. Hot reload service. Threads helper. So what this is doing is when you have C# hot reload. Okay, so what's going on here is imagine, so for example, I'm just in normal C# hot reload, right? So for example, let's say that this is a content page, right? Here, for example, I could do build. So let me show you the before and after if this thing's actually working. So Luke says everyone's using ChatGPT. Probably. Probably. There you go. Oh, yeah, there you go. Perfect. Oops. What? Why is that mad at me? Did I do something wrong? Oh yeah, I don't even have nullability on, so you don't even need those things, but sure. Okay, so here's the problem with hot reload, or even XAML hot reload, right? The reason XAML hot reload works because there's like a XAML representation that's like doing stuff, right? Oh no. Oh, I have to do a clean, I think. Let me try that. Let me do a rebuild. Because I was in different previews, so hopefully this fixes up. So the problem is, when you think about it, if you are hot reloading XAML, well, that's okay because like the XAML parser or XAML hot reload kind of knows and understands like what it's doing, basically, right? And it knows how to go off and update the UI based on those XAML diffs. Now in C# hot reload, right? If you were just in the code behind of some project and you had like, count plus equals, count plus plus, for example, that method is going to get replaced So that's fine if you have a button click handler that is clicking on that button. The problem, though, is that you specifically, when you're building your UI in XAML or in C#, for example, if this is just building your stuff up, then how does it know to recall build? It doesn't know, right? It would, if you update this build method or you update some other method, it would know to replace it, but it wouldn't necessarily know to like call that method again, right? And that's the problem that we have. So what we're doing is we're looping into the hot reload mechanism. And what this service does is that there's this metadata update handler attribute that gets exposed. And what it's doing is it's saying, hey, let me know when the update application thing gets called, and then I'll go do something. So on our base page over here, it's literally saying, hey, I'm going to implement this method called build. And when I navigate to the app over here, go ahead and call build, and then loop into this event, which is update application event. And whenever that gets called, it will recall that method and rebuild the UI. So that's what it's doing, basically, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that's the problem we have, is that in this mechanism where this is just calling this, and I'll show you, right? If this launches, yeah, it does. Okay, cool. Nice. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, what does clean do? Yeah, it tries to clean up a bunch of files. It doesn't always clean up everything, but like, for example, in this case, there might have been some diffs in the SDK that it was building for. So it'll clean out all those sort of intermediately build files in general, where a normal build just kind of does a diff. Bump, 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 bump. What is hot reload? I don't know. It seems to work on rounded corners for me. Okay, so here's a good example, right? So if I'm here and now all of a sudden I say, hey, I really want this to be a new button that, you know, in that the text is hello world, right? And I hit save and hot reload, like it's not going to know what to do, right? So that's bad. So we're going to see if all the code I put in works now. So let's go ahead and check that out. So an ideal scenario is I make this a base page, get rid of this. All right. I'm going to redeploy. Does not public override. There we go. Now let's see if it works. I don't know. So fingers crossed that this actually does work. We'll see. But the idea is that the C#.NET hot reloading stuff works, and that this will reload the UI. So for example, let's say I want to come in and say, yeah, this is a new button with .text hello world. Now, ideally, if I hit save, I don't know if I'm assuming this still works. Oh, hello. Wow. Boom. It works. Wow. Amazing. That's so cool. And then, of course, I can make this do it on file save. Wow. So now we have this big button, right? Check that out. And now if I put this back, and hit save, boom, now it's back. Oh, it does work. Oh, that's amazing. Wow. Wow. Yeah, basically it's enabling UI hot reload for C#, right? Just because of how you architect your app, it needs to basically be able to loop into events to reload this. So now, if I'm doing this correct, I could, for example, add some, let's try to do it. We have this row here, and I'm very interested in adding some margin here. And I think specifically I can add like, I can add new thickness, but I can also add horizontal or vertical. So 0, maybe like 10. And my question to see is like, will this now like reload everything? Oh my gosh, it does do it. Yes. So cool. So I like updated this, and then that definitely updated. Nice. So that actually can be like smaller for. So that's really cool, right? So we're actually like now reloading this like 100% inside of it. Ooh, that's nice. Yes. Nice. Do you have a link how to do this? Yes. I'll do a video on it too, because I think it's probably worth mentioning how to do this. Just in that example, right? There you go. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yes. Yeah. So now, for example, if I if I wanted to, I think, you know, change anything. So for example, let's say I came back into that threads generator and I was like, hey, I really want like more. And I hit save. Again, this should actually now give me a bunch more, right? So it just gives me a bunch more in here, which is pretty cool. So if I put like let's put the James one at the bottom, just so we know that it really added it in there. So anything that the C# hot reload can do, now this should add that in there. So there's me at the bottom. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, David. Yeah, so that base page is what's really important in general. Look at how to link my app to a SQL database. Do it through a REST service call. That's what I would do, and don't directly connect to your database. That's bad news bears. Cool, so I wanted to build out, let's see here, the search page. So that's right now blank. So for example, let's say I go into my search page. Now, here's going to be the kicker, obviously, is that I'm going to need to change this to a base page. And now, see, this isn't going to work with hot reloading because I'm changing the base class here in general. So I can't just magically, do like content equals new button. Maybe I can. Now, see, it's like too much. If I hit save, it's going to say, oh, you need to rebuild and apply your hot reload changes, which makes sense because like you can only go so far, right? Now, in this case, once it reloads it, now we should be in hot reload fashion. So that little green or that little purple underscore squiggly there is what is going to do that, which is cool. Nuno asks, in my TurnUp app, don't I directly connect to an Azure storage table? Nope. I talk to an API and an Azure function, which then connects to the Azure storage table. Yeah. Yep. Totally. So now we have a big button, but I should go in and be able to say like, you know, I guess. Now I can't put anything in the constructor, but, and then I should be able to say like shell dot, how do we do that? Shell property. I'm used to the XAML. So shell .NET MAUI shell title view. I think, let me go into my, I do have like one thing as XAML, which is my app shell, which is like way nice. There we go. Cool. And I'm looking here that this should have, I may need to change it here. Let's see. Oh, that one I might need to reload. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that that item needs to have a title on it. And then there, oops, that didn't work. Content. Oops. Oh, oops. Yeah, that's why I didn't reload, because I didn't finish it. And then I think there's like, where's the iOS specifics? Platform iOS. Nope. No. Platform integration. No. Platform specifics. I'm just so buried. List view modal. Title, swipe view, search bar style. I don't know what that is. Flyout page, large page titles. That's what I want. Whoa! Username, thanks for the sub. Okay. iOS navigation page prefers large titles on iOS. Oh, interesting. So this would actually be in here. This would be iOS. I think this is fine for Android. Over here, I need to change these colors because default purples are not correct. They're broken. Oh, oh no! I'll have to give that a look. Because there's also like the scrolling. How do you make it so it scrolls? Yeah. Although I'm not going to run it on iOS, it doesn't really matter, but I am curious about that. So, what's search bar style? Minimal. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so I guess I would want prominent, or I probably could just set the background color to whatever, doesn't matter. I don't understand the difference. Has no background and the search field is translucent. Oh, I don't know. I don't think you'd want that. Or maybe you'd want that. Maybe. Yeah, probably. Okay. Anyways, let's try to build up this UI. So let's see if this works. So in this case, we probably want the search page is very simple, but I think you'd want a new... Oh, actually, you know, funnily enough, can't you do a shell page with a search bar? Hold on, let me try that. Because there should be a built-in shell. And then how do you do this? I've never done the search. Search. Oh, wow, nice. Oh, wow, amazing. Yeah, I think you'd want, like this, probably, a search handler. Whoa. I have to do that. Oh, wow. Huh. What? Huh. I don't know if I want a search handler. Like, do I want it to be that advanced? I want it to be just search handler. Did you do a search handler? Was it worth it? Can you just do a search handler without implementing a bunch of stuff? Like, I don't really need all that stuff. Like, will it just do a drop-down list? Because I think here when I do... Oh, yeah, it does do a fancy thing. Oh, okay, you can just do it without it, basically. Yeah, I don't know why it just doesn't have, like, here's the default. Like, here's the default. I guess it is nice you can do this little thing in here. That's kind of cool. Collapsible search is required. Okay. Wow. So I think then I should be able to do like some search. We'll see. Maybe I'll just do a new. I think I want the search handler, but then I don't know if I actually do or not. But I'm just gonna do a. Yeah, you can do a search bar like that. Okay, we'll try to implement because everyone's interested now. Great. Now everyone's interested, so now I got to do it. There you go. That should probably reload. Oh yeah, I think I do like. Let's see. I think here I do content equals new list view. There you go. It's just gonna be blank. Oops. Oops. Edit. blank list view. That's cool. All right, so let's see. I guess I would need to do this. Shell dot set search handler. Let's see if I can do that. And then this, and then is there just a new search handler? Yeah, can I just do that? Oh, cool. Interesting. Fascinating. Is that what I want? I probably need to like stylize it or something. Yeah, I wonder if is there like a... Let's see. Oh yeah, interesting. Okay, so there's just a bunch of stuff built in. So you don't actually have to do... This should just show you how to use the default one. So you can say the default would be search, right? And then show results false. I don't know. Display clear icon, clear. Oh, and there's like a whole source. Oh wow, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. This is cool. Is search enabled? True, false, keyboard, query icon. Is there a color? Place cancel button color. Black? Colors not black. I don't actually know if that's gonna, it should reload. It's at least in the bar, but I don't know if that's how it works on Android. Like I don't actually, I mean, this is pretty much what it looks like over there, but I am kind of curious of what it looks like on iOS. Because yeah, I don't have a flyout. I should have the little search icon, but it doesn't for some reason. Maybe there's some styling I need to do. Oh, there goes, says search. Okay. All right, well, I guess that's cool. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that's what I want. I don't know. I feel like the styles are off for some reason, and that's weird. So to look up that. But it should be able to have those little icons, but maybe something in the styling. I'll have to ask somebody about that, but okay. All right. So I could say keyboard. Keyboard dot plain. Yeah, probably. There you go. Text. There you go. Text. There you go. Cool. All right. Well, that's cool. And I think this would actually move up into here probably because it's when you set shell stuff, it only does like once anyways. But that's cool. All right. All right. So let's do that. All right. So we got our list view, and then technically I would do like var list view equals this would be a new list view. Cool. And then probably I would take a look here and let's see, build this out. So I'm gonna need a few things. Again, I'm just gonna kind of put stuff in here because it's easier in general. Do I need to follow MVVM principles? No, but I'm going to anyways. So we're gonna do that. So we're gonna do that. So we have, let's see. I think I can add a new class, which would be a user. Let's see here, and this would be have a string username, string display name, an int of follower count, a string of image, and a bool of is verified, and then a bool of is following. All right, like that. And then I'm just going to do public partial class. This will be an observable object. There we go. This will be an observable property. And then we'll just kind of do here. There we go. Oop. All right. And then what we're going to need is we're going to need a view cell. So we want to also do a public class user view cell. And this is going to be a view cell. There we go. And then this will be a public user view cell. And this again will be content. Nope. Content. View. Nope. Right, it's a view cell. Like, how did I do this? Okay, so we have a thread, right? This is the thread stuff. Oh, interesting. What's going on there? That's weird. All right, let's look at this. Controls, thread view. Yeah. Oh, view equals. Duh. View equals. And then here, what we should be able to do is do like a new grid. All right. And what we've seen is from our thread view, we should be able to do, this one has three. This is easy. 3 columns here, and then this is going to have columns.define. All right, bring in that. This will be. Right, how do I do this? I like that I forget how to do everything. Oh, it's just auto. Perfect. Auto, star, auto. Cool. There we go. And then row definitions. And this will be also equals rows.define. And this is going to be auto, auto, auto. All right, cool. And then we have children. Children, cool. Now it's going to equal I'm going to put in a new. Well, let's do this first before we do this. So we have this. Let's just do a. This is really simple because I can just like kind of copy some stuff from this thread view. So let's like copy this new image here. Boop. Into here. So I'm just going to say children equals. There we go. And then I'm just going to shove that in there. This will be a user. Perfect. A user. Source property, thickness, aspect fill. Cool, cool, cool. And then we're going to need to do list view dot items source equals new array. And then we're going to go ahead and fill this with a new user. And we'll say username is James Montemagno. And then we're going to have a display name, which is James Montemagno. And then we're going to have a is verified. I'll say false for now. And then I'm going to do a is following, and that'll be true. And then I'm going to say image equals, I added this image in here. So really like this a thread should probably not have like image and user. It should have a user on it pretty much, which would be an ideal scenario, which makes way more sense there. But we have that. And then this image, if I go into my threads generator, is going to be profile circle. There we go. And then there we go. Follower count. I think I have like 1.5 1500, something like that. Can't you do like that or something? 1500, something like that. Cool. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I think probably some of this generation stuff may not be hot reloadable. We'll see. But there's that, this, and then ideally I should be like list view dot item template equals new data template type of, and then this will be user view cell, just like that. Yeah, this one I'm gonna have to rebuild because I'm generating stuff behind the scenes, so we'll see if that actually does it or not. Oh. What you mad about? It's mad because it needs to generate some stuff. Okay, okay. Have I tried coding without MVVM? Yeah, I mean, I have. I mean, maybe be asking in the chat. I definitely have before. It's not quite as fun as I would like, but I've definitely done it. My Cadence application that I have had no MVVM in it at all, which was good. Oh, I think I moved this thing, and then I think, did I? What was it mad about? Let's see what it's mad about. Might be mad because I moved a bunch of stuff around. Oops. Partial class. That's why I didn't make. Did I not do that? Why is this thing so mad? One error. What did I mess up? I mean, I'm only gonna put this on iOS and Android anyways. Let's do this because this is being a little bit funky. Let's try this now. Do you recommend a physical Mac for iOS development? If so, do you develop on it or just use it on Windows? No, I recommend both a Mac and a PC to do both. I have my MacBook Air over here that I develop on quite a lot. I do a lot of my initial work on like Windows and then Android. And then when I need to like tweak and go really like, you know, intense on iOS, I like kind of go over there onto the iOS on the Mac and then go from there. So that's usually what I do mostly because it just makes it a lot easier in the cycle. However, I do use hot restart. So I did a video on that, like plugging in your iOS device into your machine. That also works fairly well too. Yeah. Oh yeah, Nero says that they put the observable properties on the database models, which gives them the idea that something went wrong in the design. Yeah, basically, you know, and also like when you look at this thing, you probably don't actually need these observable properties to be on everything. Like I probably only need them to be on the likes and replies, you know, maybe time ago. observable if they're changing. Like if these aren't changing at all, these just could just be public properties. Like they don't really need to be anything fancy in general. So that's one thing to think about is like, I've marked these as observable properties, but they don't really need to be. They could just be there. Like, is the image ever going to change? I don't know. Maybe. Like the URL change? Yeah, maybe. That's the thing is like, only mark it as observable property. Like if you're going to make it, you know, if it's going to change, that's one thing that, you know, we think about. It's like, oh, is it going to change or not? So that's an important aspect too. Okay, search. Ayo. Okay, cool. We got me on there. Perfect. Okay. So let's go back over here. I don't like that this is that color. This is like really upset. It's like show potential fixes. Can I do that kind of stuff? I want to get rid of that. I've never seen that before. Like, why is it doing that? Silent? Okay, maybe that now does it. Let me try it again. Like, why is it doing? Okay. So ideally, let's look. Someone says, one up says, what's the best way to handle passwords when an app handles user accounts being stored in the database? Put them in secure storage. That's built into .NET MAUI, so you can put them in secure storage once you download those refresh tokens and things like that from the internet. On appearing gets called quite often, so on navigated to would be a better place for like when the thing's been navigated to 100%. So that's a nice thing to have, but they're called in different orders, so you kind of make sure that those things are correct for you. This thing building, come on, do it. Where's my search page at? Okay. So if this, okay, there we go. Cool. So now, in a world, okay, cool. In a world where I'm doing this. Here's the other cool part too, is I have my simulator here, right? But if I go here, I still should be able to do XAML live preview, or under debug, Windows, XAML live preview. It's actually still there. It has nothing to do with XAML. That's a fun fact, in case anyone was curious. I know it's called that, but it's actually has nothing to do with that at all. I mean, it does and it doesn't, but yeah, so there you go. So you can just like have that in there. Now, the question I have is, will this I guess here I would do like, and I'm just setting all the properties because it's like easier, but I think you would just do like padding like 10. Or yeah, 10. That should, yep, there you go, cool. And then now we should be able to like list has uneven rows equals true. Save that, boop. Dot. I wonder if it does like dot has. Oh, just a property. Okay. go. Cool. Add that in there. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Every time it switches pages, so that is correct. Cool. There's that. So now we have our image in here, so that's good. Now what we'd want to do is row span. This would be 3, just to make sure it's there. Okay, cool. So now what we want to do is do a new label. So this is really simple because there's just a few labels in here. And then this would be dot set binding, and this is going to be text property or label dot text property, and then this will be name of a user dot this is going to be username. Cool. What was it mad about? Did I do that wrong? No, bind. There we go. And then I'm just going to do a few of these. This would be name of a user dot display name. And then let me just copy that. Of course, the indexing doesn't come, so that's good. And this will be the follower count. But then we're gonna have a string format. My fonts are ginormous, but you know that's on me in general. So we could then do, let's see here, we can do 0 followers, just like that. See if that shows up on a save. Amazing, cool, awesome. And this should be dot bold dot, and this would be dot row or column 1. There we go. And then this one is going to be dot column 1 dot row 1. There we go. Cool. And then this one is going to be also dot column 1 dot row 2. And then this one is going to also have like dot text color. I'll say colors dot light gray. Yeah. See how that looks. Cool. That looks good. And then probably we want like column spacing to be 10. It is, and you know, this is the C# markup. Yeah. Looks like, yep. There we go. Cool. That looks good. And I think, I mean, that's pretty much all it is, which is kind of cool. So then here's what becomes kind of interesting is if we have our var user equals binding context, and this is our a user. This is what I'm interested in. I was talking to Frank, is like, could I do if user dot is following, then I could do like var button equals new button, right? Like that. Like I say, button dot text. I could say following else dot follow, right? And then in this case, we would want like maybe the dot border width to be 1. And then, oop, can I do that? It doesn't have, yeah, I'm using the .NET Community Toolkit, sorry, .NET MAUI. Community Toolkit. And I'm wondering if it has... It'd be cool if it had like button, you know, button stuff. I think it has generic stuff, but I want button extensions, right? I want like... Yeah, I need like button dot... I guess you would just do this. Oh yeah, you know what? Oh man, that'd be cool. Okay, so if you did, then ideally you could do like dot text, right? And then you could do, ideally I was thinking this, right? It's like is user dot is following. And I could do following, like the little hearts that fly up from the bottom. Then else follow, right? Just like that. And then ideally, like this button is also going to be down over here. And I can say a button in there. And this button's also going to be in dot row span 2 and dot column 2. And then this is going to be like vertical, center vertical. Part. And this should be, man, my border width equals colors dot light gray. And then the border width should be like 1. See how that does. Uh-oh. Ew, I got an exception. All right, so something happened. Oops. Something happened. Oh my gosh. Oh, bad format. Something happened. Got a little bit too crazy for hot reload, apparently. I wonder if this is throwing an exception. I actually do need to debug this and see if this is there. I don't know if this works, though. Like, I don't know when the binding is set on it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So that could be the issue that we run into is like, is the user, like, did it just throw an exception because the binding context is null in this instance here? You know what I mean? Uh-oh, I think I just made it very mad. Uh-oh. It's doing something. It's doing something. Oh, there we go. Let's close the app. All right, let me insert add and then go. I don't know if the button will be a problem or not. Let's see if it goes. I mean, it says button, but it should load. That's initial. I was started to do stuff before it was there. Okay. Visual Studios is getting mad at me. What is going on? All right. I feel like it's creating something is having an issue. I don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. Ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. I think the other thing I could do probably is... I don't think it's a problem with the... I think behaviors could solve the model. No, I think it should be... Okay, that was very upsetting me. I think because this breakpoint is here. I wonder if I need to do like... I think I need to do this, right? So then I need to do like a button, and I'll say follow button like this. And then I would do this. I'll say if as a user. If user is null, return, right? And then oh, it's gonna pattern match. No, wait, why would it do that? No. There we go. Is not a user. That's great. Oh, I love pattern matching. And then I could do follow button like this. And this would be this. I would put this in here. I think that's the problem, is like when this is created, it doesn't have a binding context yet. So it's like throwing up basically on top of this. But this should just set the text. So I was really curious when I was talking to Frank, is like, does this make this easier than doing like value converters and having to do all this other stuff? Like, how would we change that, right? So obviously, you know, we could bind to a following there. Yeah, throwing up is bad, Daniel, that's correct. So we're gonna see if this actually works or not, or if I'm just crazy, but we'll see. Oh, there we go, cool. So we have following, so that worked. Okay, cool. Now here, I would also say, that's good, because I actually kind of do want that background color there, but I kind of also want this to be, I'd kind of want the height, or no, maybe I need it to be like dot top and not center vertically. I want it to be skinnier for some reason. I did top and center vertically. I kind of want it to be dot height, and then maybe it's like 35. I don't know, I'm just guessing here. There we go, it's better. Maybe 40. Yeah, so yeah, you could do that. So the other thing you could do is like, you'd be like, you know, you could do some logic in here, which is good. Okay, that's good. And then now I'm wondering is, what if I did that, if the user is following, and then I could also say dot, oops, background color. Oh, man. Oh, okay, I can do that. Background color. And then I would say user dot is following. And then I would do else. I would need to grab the primary color out of here. How do I do that? Resources, styles, colors. And this is I think it's doing primary. Let's look. Text color. It's doing app theme bindings. Yeah, so I probably don't actually want it to do that, but primary is what it's doing. Wait, is it? Why? Oh, yeah. Got it. Yeah, I don't want that to do that. I want this to be like app.current.resources. Let's do primary. Can I do primary? Primary color. Yeah, primary. Okay. This would be a color like that. That should make it work. Alright, that definitely did not work as I wanted it to, but cool, cool, cool. I also probably need to set the, oh, is following. It actually did work. Is following. It should be primary, else. That. And then I would need to do like dot text color, and then I would need to do the same thing, user dot is following. Then I would say, if I am following, then this could be colors dot white, and then colors dot black. For example, I don't know if that's actually gonna work. Ew, edit. What did I do? I may not have liked whatever I did. Oh, key not found. Primary. Cool, cool, cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Where does it live? Okay. I need to get, is it app shell? That's where it lives, because it lives in the shell. Does it live in the shell? Huh. Yeah, you could probably just do this, but that, I'm curious, like, it's got to live somewhere, right? The color? You should be able to get it that way. It should just be in the resources, but it is in a merged dictionary of resources, so it should be there though. Oh, merged dictionaries. Gross. Gross. Oh man, I don't want to merge a dictionary yet. I guess that makes sense. Danny says that's your code. I don't like that. I see. Yeah. Gross. Okay, well, let me just add that anyways. Yeah, that makes sense of where it's at, I guess. I think here what you would do is inside of your, like, app, you could do, like, public. Public. Let me just do void. Get. Public, static, void, get color, and then I just do string color. Yeah, boop. And then you would do this dot first. Return. Like that. And then you would do color key. And probably you would say like get color resource. This would be an object because we don't know what it is. And then we just say key. Cool. And then merge dictionaries, grab the first one that's contains. Oh, that's terrible. Key. There we go. Cool. And then I guess what I could do here is say do app dot this and then primary. That would look a little bit better. So in general, thank you, Danny. GN says, do you suggest doing design first or coding the front end first? I mean, I don't know. I mean, depends on your app, I guess. There's that. Okay, we got this. Ooh, buttons on buttons. No. Seems to work. Okay, now we want to add another user, so let's do that. There we go. Where's my person at? So let's do another user in here, and let's do this, and let's do a is verified true. I don't know. I mean, I think that yeah, we'll say false. We're not following Scott, and he's got 5 bajillion users. There we go. Hey, now we have follow. Cool. That looks actually really good. That's pretty much the app. Ba-da-da-da. Now, I think the other thing is, I wonder if there is a padding property. Where's that at? Do 0? Oh. Oh yeah, I definitely don't want that. This would be like 10 and then 0. Oh, let's try that. Oop. Can I remove that? I want to make it skinny. Oh, that didn't work out there. Cool. All right, that's interesting. Oh, and then we can also make this does have a separator between us. That's really good. Cool. So follow is purple and following is transparent. Yeah, that's what it looks like in the app. And then also the dot bold. There we go. That also has bold text on it. Boop. As well. That's what it looks like in general. Oh, and then the other thing you need to do is like, where's that? This label actually needs to be, where's the thread at? Controls, thread view. And then you could do probably actually do this. Boop. So this one here, we would basically do this. A user dot username. And this one is going to be a font awesome helper, and a user. Cool. And then that here. So again, like, this is kind of interesting because now we have the little verified check mark. And I think actually that's like bottom, but this should be like vertical, center vertical. There we go. There you go. And then there we go, that's better. So here's what gets really cool is like technically I could then do this, which is I wonder if I make the text smaller, but yeah. So that's my code. The colors should be reversed. No, this is what the app looks like. So the app looks like that. I can't really show it, but the app looks like that, where it's like, if you're following, then it's bolded inside of it. Yep. Under following. Oh, actually, wow. It doesn't even have following. It actually has, wow. It just says unfollow. Interesting. That actually makes it a billion times more easier because then you actually don't need any of this, which is hilarious. So that's actually really simple. Like that. And then, funnily enough, wow, that is bananas. That it's like dot background color actually is tasks is actually a colors dot transparent, and then technically the text color, and then what you could do is I gotta just do colors dot black right now, but in threads it's that. Yeah, I'm recreating threads. Yeah, so there's that. It actually just says unfollow, which is hilarious. And this actually has like a 20 in here and there. So it's like quite thick. Yeah, that's what it does. Now I really wish I could make this a little bit, it's so thin. I just don't want it to cut. Oh, that looks better. think I removed the padding so that, oh, that much looks much better. Okay, cool. 33, something like that. Nice. Yeah. Perfect. That's cool. So this is really, really, really interesting because when you go in and look at it, it actually just says follow and unfollow. So that's what it looks like there, which is very, very fascinating. Which is cool. So that's wild. What's that icon on there? Plus. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, so this is just me building up this button, and then I could put that in there. Like, I could actually just put this. Yeah, anywhere. But yeah, then we got the grid, we got the stuff in here. That's kind of it, which is kind of cool. Yeah, that's all it looks like. And then I do think that there's a little bit of spacing here. So I think there's a little tiny bit of row spacing. I'm just gonna say 5. Let's see what that looks like. Oops, edit. Whoa, Slavak, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. There you go, tiny bit. No, a little bit less. Just a little bit less. That's pretty much it. And then technically there's a search, which we would need to like implement on here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you actually like make this bigger, you would see the, okay, get out of here, settings. You would see the line in between and things like that. Cool. Now, here's the other thing that gets really fascinating, right? Is like, is that, smaller, I guess. There we go. Get out of your settings. Is that you could do then, like, if we look at, let's change this, and we go to our models. We're going to add a new class and call this a user. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do some refactoring a little bit, right? So we're going to go in to our pages, our search page, and we're going to take this a user, boop, and I'm going to put this a user over here, put this here, boop, 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 ba-doop. Cool. Then what we're going to end up doing is, yeah, go there, and then a thread has a user, and that'd be user. Right. Perfect, there you go. Well, that's fascinating. And then this should be an observable property as well. So we have a thread, it has a user, which is good. And then if I go into, oh, you know what I could do is I think I do this. To keep it, I'm trying to think of how to reuse the user name control. Whether it's on a thread, so like if I'm here on the Threads app, one thing that would be nice is there's the username, which is the same here, right? And it'd be nice to reuse that across both of them. And if we did that, we would want, to change something. I have an idea. Ooh, yes. We'd want to delete this stuff and also the is verified because we don't want that. And there we have a user. Okay. Then what we would end up doing is going into our, let's go into our generators, helpers. Let's go into our search page, and we want to now bring in that as model. Cool. That'll change a bunch of stuff. A user, yep, public partial class, username, display name. Okay, cool. And then we're going to need to do what? Search page. We want to clean up a little bit of code. I don't know, this is mad at me. Oh yeah, it's mad because I moved it around so it existed in multiple places. So that's okay. But we're going to now take this and we're going to say thread helpers. No, where did I put it? Oh, why did I put this in here? That doesn't go there. That goes into my helpers. Oops. Yes. Yes. Perfect. You got this. Sync those namespaces. Why did I do partial on a user and a thread? The reason I did partial is because we're using source generators to generate the properties for me. That's part of the .NET Community Toolkit for MVVM. And I'll talk about that here in a second. So I'm going to do public static IEnumerable. I say create users. And this will be a public static a user. I'm going to say create user. And then what I can do is, do this. This is going to return that. And then I'm just going to do this. Return me. Just like that. And then just go, I have different ones. I'm going to do this. And if I was getting like way more fancy, I would just like that. Okay, cool. So that should all work. And then now we've gone and messed this all up. So that's good, which is great. And what I now need to do is do user equals create user, just like that. Get rid of this. Boop. Cool. And then now this will just like create a user every time. And then I'll say if I do bool is verified equals false, bool is following equals true, also false. Let's do is verified is following. Make it a little bit easier. I'll do false true, true false, and maybe false false. Oh, sorry, I said true true. There we go. Just get a little bit of everything. Cool. And then we can delete this stuff, delete this stuff. Boop. Delete this as verified stuff. Put that in there. And I'll say like, you know, true, false, false, true, true, true. And then I just do this, just kind of cleaning up some code. Okay. So the biggest thing that we need to do is I think I've just literally like copy and paste these in here. There's so many of them. I should probably have like a for loop that does some stuff. Yeah, it does need more Jeff Goldblum. That's correct. Yeah, I should put those in there. All right, cool. That should be there. Okay. So the reason, if we go over to like a thread, why this is partial is because if we look, for example, that notice that there's replies, but there's a capital replies, right? Where did that come from? Well, if I go to definition, it's because we're using those source generators and it creates all of this code for us automatically. So we can get the built-in automatically property change and change notifications for us, which is really cool. Same thing with commands as well. So that does it all for you automatically. So you definitely want that. And take a look at the workshop that I have on the .NET presentations repo that generates all that stuff. So that's what this does. It has to be partial class because those are being generated in another file. So that's why that's important. All right, cool. So this is cool. We're gonna get rid of this. Maybe we're only getting to the search page today. Here, but okay, this should be it. Did I do this? Oh, okay. This now could be the threads generator dot create users. Cool, that's good. Now, what we really want to do, I think, is like figure out how to take this and move it over, right? So this little puppy here ideally should be a new control called a user view. I'm gonna call that. And then yeah, correct. Yeah, and all those probably don't need to be observable properties, but there's there. Now I'm using A for my models and then just whatever the view is there. Only because I think thread is a keyword, so in general, a user view. Everything's a user view. It makes it easy to do. So this will be a view. Let's see, public. Horizontal spaced. Yeah, I don't think I can do like 5, but that would be cool though. Can I do that? Wow. No, I can't do that. That'd be cool if so. I think I just make this a horizontal stack layout and then I can just change the spacing to 5. And then I think I need to do like content or yeah, children. And then I'm going to add these in here. And this is where things get real interesting. So let's say I add this. Everything's a component. So really these are like components at the end of the day, right? Now the problem is if we create this view, user view, and then in one instance we are binding to the username and the other one we are binding to one instance we're binding like on the home page, for example, here for the home page, we're binding to this thread cell, which is binding to a thread. So this is going to return a thread. So we would need to do user dot in this case. So I think what we want to do is we need to do like string and then prefix. And then this would be string dot empty. There we go. I guess I can't do that. So I could do null, I guess. And I'll say prefix. There you go. Sure. I don't know why I can't do that, but sure. All right. So then can I just not do that? I can't do that. Okay, cool. I don't know why I couldn't do that for a second. Can you not do just like string.empty? That's not allowed. Compile time constant. That's weird. All right. So here, I think you'd want to do is like a. We do want to do a prefix. And then username. Because you are going to bind to a username there. Like that. Yeah. And then what you could do. Oh, yeah. Ah. Thank you. Much better. Yeah, that makes sense. Duh, C#. Interesting. So, in most cases, we want to just bind to the username of it there. So this is where it becomes interesting because what we don't want to end up doing on our, if we look at our thread view, right? It's actually a thread view. Yeah, it's a thread view. This we would want to do. We don't have an image anymore, but we'd want to do. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This would be. And I don't think that will work. I think I'd have to do. It becomes very fascinating. Oh my gosh. So here, now in the children, for this image, we're going to need to do. Name of a thread.user. Right. And then name of that, just like that. That's going to work because we're basically. You gotta put a dot in there. I think? Yeah, that makes sense. It'll be like user dot in there. Yeah. And the same thing is verified. So these I don't need to get rid of, but I do need to now get rid of this. I'm gonna say new user view. And then the prefix I'm gonna do is this. That. And then like that. So that should work because this is the thread view where we're doing that. And then if I go into the search page here, instead of doing all of this, I should be able to say new user view like that. Now let's see if this works. Primary constructors would allow that. Yeah, I guess I could just flip on that thing, huh? That'd be nice. Oh, nice. That's cool. Yeah. I can turn it down a notch. Just let me always know. Durag, just always let me know. Let's see if it works. Oh, is it running? No. Still compiling. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. So my hope here is to reuse this component. So we have the search view. We have this follow button that's doing some dynamic binding here, basically. It's not... I don't know if that's super duper important in general, like this one. I thought there was going to be a lot more in the UI that was drastically different, but that's pretty cool. Whoa. Tarnay, thank you for the subscription. Wow, 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 wow. Bow, 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 bow. It's always here because I hear a different volume than what's output to the source, basically. Compiling. Slowly. Yeah, and then in this case, we're on the search page, which we're already bound to a user, so it should just work, technically. Yeah, I don't think I need them. I can just ignore them because I'm not using nullability, so I should be able to remove that warning flag. Copied and pasted from David. There's a lot of interesting things in this UI. I think it also shows an image of a person you're following if they're... Oh, interesting, yeah. Fascinating. Yeah. So now we're reusing the same exact view, right? So what gets cool about this is if you go into the user, so this is the composability, right? So the James Montemagno and the little star here are what are getting reused, right, across these different views. So if I was to now go into this new thing that we just created, this user view, it's really like a username view, but let's say I did like font size, and I said, 25, and hit save. What we'll now see is that that's big, and then also it's big here too, right? It's the same view, so that's kind of cool. 14. Thanks for, I don't know who it was who just subscribed, but thank you so much for the subscription. Boom, 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 boom. Right, so that's kind of cool. It's like now it's the same exact view between the two of them, basically, right? That's there. So now we should have like a better follower account view here, but there's that. Dennis followed. Thank you, Dennis, for the follow. I appreciate that. Keep those subs coming. So there's that. Now there is something I'm noticing, which is like if you have followers like next to it, then it would show a little show, the people that are following this in general. And there's of course different it's not going to show this followers for Scott Hanselman, right? It's going to show something legitimate like 1.5k or 1 point whatever k that's in there. And I think what you'd want to do is at that point probably do like a humanizer on it. So let's do add a humanizer. And we should really wrap that. I'm really trying to squeeze in some good time here. Let's do this. So humanizer, add that in there. And then I think also just for good value here, I think on the user, we're going to add another observable property. We'll say bool has similar followers. I don't know, like that. There we go. And then I think what you'd end up doing is on the user view, thread view, down here, there's the follow button, there's the follower count. Here I would do a new horizontal spaced layout. And then this one would have this in here, boop, boop. And then this would be there. Cool. And then this would also have a new image. I'll grab that. Yeah, new image. And for now, I'm just going to bind to the same image as myself because I'm lazy. New image. And this is the resources, images, profile circle PNG. Then I would say dot width. It's gonna be small, like 12. Dot height, 12. And then I would say dot center horizontal. And then I would do a dot bind. And I would do a image dot is visible property. And then I would do a name of a user dot has similar followers, like that. Just like that, like that. And then what I would do is, where's my threads user generator? Yeah, and then for Scott, I would do like, it's custom, so I'm gonna say has followers true. It's like that. Okay. And then inside of our a user, we should have a public string followers display like this, and then this would be follower count dot, and then I need to look up humanizer stuff. Humanizer C# readme. Add in using humanizer. This should probably just give me like dot to that's what I think about Flutter, and why am I using Maui? Well, I'm using .NET MAUI because one, I've been a Xamarin and .NET developer for nearly 2 decades. So most I'm a C# developer, and I like using Visual Studio. I like using C# and .NET to build my backends, my front ends, all my things that I humanly possibly want in this world, which is great. And even as a string, format a string, numbers to word, numbers to numbers, numbers to ordinary words. I think maybe in here. But additionally, I just like that I have access to the underlying infrastructure in C# and .NET. And I personally, like I said, I'm C# developer, is my go-to, but I love the C# .NET community, and I like a lot of the niceties of Visual Studio. I like using XAML or C# to build my UIs specifically, and I like a lot of the things that .NET MAUI does for me is cross-platform icons, fonts, images, raw assets, you know, styling, things like that, which is good. I really want to do like, how do I do? I don't know if I don't know if it is going to do the things that I want it to do. Like what I would love for it to do, maybe it doesn't know, is like to to quantity. I don't know if it's gonna do it for me. I want it to be like dot 1K, 2K, 3K. Oh yeah, humanizer will do all sorts of stuff. Like for example, like time span humanize, and it'll do like 1 day. Yeah. 2 metric. Oh, there it is. Amazing. Wow, 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 wow. Cool. Thank you. There you go. Upper. And then I would want to do followers like that. Like that. Boom. So that would do it. I think that should do it. If that is what it does. From metric. Wow. Cool. And then but I guess, is this, is it though? Like that's, is it really metric though? Is it going to do, what if it's 1 million though? You know what I mean? Yeah, you can do like kilobytes and then to this stuff. I don't know if it's actually going to do what I want it to do, though. There's tupletizing. I might have to do it manually. I mean, it's really 1,000 if it's like thousands or this or that, you know. I don't know if the metric is what I want. I mean, I get this is like 0.1 though, right? I guess it would never be that. I don't think that's actually one. Oh, that's cool. It is to and from Roman. Wow. It probably doesn't actually do what I want, because I want like 1.5 million or 1.67 thousand or whatever, you know. Oh, I wonder if I do. I don't know if it's gonna do what I want, but I think it might be like I think actually I'm kind of curious if it's like, if I do like followers, and I do dot to quantity, right? And then I pass in the followers like that. Follower count like that, right? Because then it would be like, I don't know if it actually will or not, but like I would think that it would maybe do it. So it says to quantity. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna do what I want. I would want like N0. Or at least format it nicer, I guess. Oh, what's it gonna do? Show quantity as numeric. That is the default. We can just see what happens. Anyways, this is probably what we actually want in general. But I'm there. Okay, I'll try the metric one. But is it gonna do like, you know, 1.5 M? I don't know. It's about, no, just like building out, just trying out new features, building stuff, Musa, and there. It's on my GitHub. It's in the show notes below. But I do a bunch of building of apps and things like that. Oh, it does it? Oh, okay, cool. Well, fine. Okay, you win. Danny, you win. I don't understand how metrics works. I'm, you know, that's what I do. Okay, so let's go to my search page. So here, yeah, this would be like follower display instead, right? Boop. Like that. All right, you win. According to ChatGPT, great. And so if you know if ChatGPT does that, that's great. Yeah. But I have a bunch of pet projects that are on my, like side projects that are on my GitHub that are in general there. So let's see if this works. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, dun, dun. It should work. Follow button, column, row. Yeah. I think we're only going to get to here because then I'm going to go and get out of here. But this is getting a lot further, so I'm very happy about it. I still need to do the iOS like follow or the search button thingy and actually change some images and icons. Let's see here. Yeah, you can check out Humanizer here if you've never used it. It's very nice. We used it, especially for like date time stuff. It's super duper nice, but all this stuff. Yeah, first, third, it just does it automatically. So nice. All right, cool. Let this compile. Yeah, do I like building stuff in C# as much as YAML? I don't know. Frank and I have gone back and forth, so we were like, oh, do we? I don't know. He builds almost all of his UIs in C# or F# though, so he's 100% in. He's sold. Cool. All right, there's that. Search. Hey, oh wow, y'all are right. 1.5K. Wow, amazing. And look at that little icon there. Whoa, amazing. So cool. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Looks so good. There we go. Did it. And we refactored tons. Like, I'm pretty impressed if you look at the solution of like, we got some controls, we got some helpers, we got some models, we got some pages. And now our search page should look pretty, well, we still would need to refactor a little bit of this out basically. But beyond that, you know, it would look a little bit like this. And then this. It's pretty, not bad in general. So that's cool. Nice. All right. Search. And then at some point we'll want to do the other pages that I just talked about. So we'll go from there. But yeah, we have this all set up. That looks so good. Wow. I'm impressed with myself. Not bad. These are easy views. Like the actual Threads application, not that, like the views aren't that hard at the beginning, but they will get more complicated. Like there's probably tons of stuff that I'm not even doing here, like the actual threading of conversations, for example. So, and then images and other stuff like that. That's where like more of a templated system comes in. So we're there. What do I think of Avalone UI? Avalone UI is great. So is Uno, so is .NET MAUI. They're all built on top of the core architecture of iOS, Android, Mac, and Windows. Like different ones, like Avalone uses different for Mac and for Windows. But as far as iOS and Android go, like those are built on top of iOS and Android for .NET, which enables .NET and C# to be run and get access to those APIs of the underlying platform and all the packaging and compiling there. So that's what's cool about it. And then yeah, based on your needs of what like you need to build, like whatever's there. So totally up to you and your use case. But for me, like I obviously work for Microsoft, so there's that. But I've used xamarin.forms forever, and now .NET MAUI is my go-to for this. So that's kind of like how you know, in the box type of stuff. But the nice part about, in general, the .NET ecosystem is you use what's best for you, right? Whatever your needs are. So if it is today, you know, .NET MAUI, or if it's Avalone or it's Uno, like all that MVVM code, all that stuff is going to be the same. Just the UI will be different stack in general. But what architecture am I using? Musa asked, this is just using MVVM style coding with data binding. So how it binds to the UI pretty much of what's there. And then when things update, the UI updates automatically. So, which is nice. But yeah, that's what I'm using. That helps. I think we gotta change. Hold on. Let me see here. Where's my thread view, my search? I think like that. Can I change the 5? How can I not do that? You gotta set it. I think that should work. Oh, that's now not as much. Maybe 10. 15. I was kind of seeing like what I need on this thing here. Ooh, that's a little bit too much. There we go. A lot of that's just styling at the end of the day. Divyesh was asking about UI there. I mean, out of the box, they're just controls, right? So you gotta stylize it and make it look better. But you should look at, you go to Javier Suarez, GitHub, Microsoft. Yeah, look at, you want inspiration for stuff. Take a look at the, where is it at? Repos. Awesome .NET MAUI. Is that the thing? Or no, it's the showcase. Where's that one at? I gotta type it in. He's got too many things, Javier. There we go. Yeah, take a look at this puppy. Scroll through some different UIs, things that people are building, get some inspiration in general that's in here, some news apps, some different apps, all sorts of stuff. There's a little bit of everything in here. Oh, that's nice. The weather app. A little bit of everything that's in here. I think that's really nice. That's really nice. Maui planets. Yeah, all sorts of good stuff. Give that a good go. All right, well, I'm going to get out of here, folks. Thanks for all the feedback, the help coding, and thanks ChatGPT for being there for us. Appreciate that. This is all up on my GitHub, so I'm going to go ahead and push these changes up there now. So I'll refactor and add in the search page. And there you go. Divyesh, I don't know. You'd have to go, into, I'd take a look at the session that David and Maddie did, talking about a whole bunch of stuff there. So, yeah. They talked about a whole bunch of .NET MAUI customers. So, go there. All right, cool. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Of course, if you want more videos, I put them out here on my YouTube just about every week. I've been doing some live streams, but I'm going to get back to some videos. I have some time today, so I'm going to do that after lunch, after some meetings. Kind of taking a half day today, mostly. So I'm coming down from all the conferences, so kind of doing stuff. Yeah, I learned a lot too, Danny. Cheers. So we'll keep stuff going if y'all like this stuff, and appreciate the subs and the follows and all that stuff. I hope you have a great weekend wherever you're at in the world, and I'll check y'all out later. Bye-bye.